Ford v Ferrari is directed by James Mangold, who's directed Walk the Line, Girl Interrupted, 310 to Yuma, and Logan.
Yeah, and this movie stars Christian Bale, Matt Damon, and John Bernthal. And before we go into it, I just want to say this review is coming from two guys who wasn't really interested in this movie at all.
I honestly had little to no interest at all in this movie. Even watching the trailers, I wasn't even interested in watching the trailers.
I think I had a little bit more interest in you, but overall, I just wasn't. Because car racing is just something that doesn't interest me. Car racing movies don't interest me. I didn't even like the Disney movie Cars. That's like the first Cars movie. I didn't even like that, even when I saw it when I was little. It's just something that doesn't interest me.
Yeah, it wasn't really till I saw Jeremy John's review.
Yeah.
And he said two things that actually made me kind of interested in this. One, that it was directed by James Mangold, which I didn't know, who obviously directed Logan, which was my favorite movie of the year in 2017.
Yeah.
But also he said that if you're going into this wanting a full-on racing movie, you're going to be disappointed by that. Which, that's what I was scared of, that it was just going to be a racing type movie. I didn't think it was going to be like full-on racing movie, but that's what I was scared of, because I'm like you said, we're not really interested in that much.
Yeah.
But I was honestly pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed this movie.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm not going to say there wasn't at all any type of racing lingo and jargon.
Yeah, it does have its fair share of racing.
Exactly, but it does it in such an interesting way that it doesn't really, it's not too heavy-handed with that stuff.
Yeah.
It has a lot to do with the characters themselves as well.
Granted, this movie didn't have any extremely difficult subjects to go over. It's not like some science movie where, but it did have subjects that you have to be in that kind of field. You have to know that kind of jargon and all that stuff to understand it well. Cars and stuff like that. I don't really know anything I know what cars are.
I don't know anything about cars.
I don't really know.
Except for the bare minimum.
Yeah, the bare minimum I need to know to live. That's what I know about cars. I don't really know much about them at all. And so this movie does something really cool. It really respects its audience, and it doesn't make them feel like an idiot by explaining to them every little detail about cars. Whenever they bring up some words about cars, it doesn't explain it to you. It just brings them up and talks about them. But it does it in a certain way to where you don't really need to know about the cars, because at the end of the day, at the end of the conversation, you know what they're talking about. They bring up these words in such a way that you know whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing. And so it really helps you follow the story a lot better.
Now, the acting with Christian Bale and Matt Damon, the two leads, this is honestly some of the best I've seen them, especially Christian Bale. I'm not going to act like I've seen a lot of his movies, but I've seen a fair share of his movies. And this is honestly the best I've seen him. Just the way his character was so... You liked him, but at the same time, he wasn't really much of a people person.
Yeah.
So it kind of led to some funny scenes. And really, this movie has some pretty hilarious scenes. Especially, there's one scene where Christian Bale is coming back home from shopping, and that whole scene was just super hilarious. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah. And I do want to also say that their chemistry in this movie is just so well written. Mm-hmm. They're two different characters who are nothing alike whatsoever, And I mean, and I know that's done a lot with buddy cop movies, but the way it's done here, it's they're two people who aren't really alike at all, and they don't really get along, but every scene that they're in, you really do feel that they're getting along in some way or another. Mm-hmm. They really are at one certain goal, and they do care about each other.
This whole story is pretty much, it's called Ford v Ferrari, but it's really like Matt Damon and Christian Bale versus Ford versus Ferrari, because Christian Bale and Matt Damon are both they're kind of independent, kind of small timer people who are hired by Ford to create this racing car that can beat Ferrari's car. But at the same time, Ford has some higher ups, especially Josh Lucas's character, which Josh Lucas plays a sleazy prick pretty well.
Yeah.
But those higher ups are kind of weighing down on them and trying to do things the way they want to, even though they're not the best way. So it's really a three type of situation, which gets really interesting.
Yeah, this movie does a really good job at not over eviling people, I guess, or not writing people too evil or too mean. It does a good job at not over dramatizing things. Everything in this movie feels real. Yeah. And I don't know any of this background story. This movie could be completely inaccurate. I really don't know. But overall, like this, it just everything feels pretty decently real.
Yeah,
I will say there. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just say I will say there are times when Josh Lucas's character, it does get to kind of like the stereotypical higher up person who's trying to change things the way they want to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you said, I don't know like how accurate this movie
Yeah.
is. Maybe he really did all
Yeah,
the stuff they
exactly.
did in this movie, but at the same time, it did get a little stereotypical. But overall, it kind of fit into
Yeah.
the movie.
And I will say this: it does get his character is written in a way to where I could really see it either way.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it very possible that it's fake and he's over villainized. Or honestly, like I could watch and say, you know what? I could see this happening because it's nothing too major.
Right.
It's nothing too terrible.
Yeah.
That it's like, oh man, this is definitely fake because he's way too evil. But you know, it's just at that right moment where it just feels right, but at the same time, it could go either way with whether or not it's fake.
And then when it does come to the racing parts of the movie, because like I said, there are racing parts in this movie, obviously. But it does it in a way that really made me interested. Like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
like some intense scenes. Like honestly, by the end of the movie, it kind of almost had me interested in watching actual racing,
Yeah.
just a tad bit. I probably won't, but it made me a little more interested.
Yeah.
Because some of the scenes are so intense, and seeing the behind the scenes of what has to happen with the crew and all that to get the car to this tip-top shape.
Yeah.
To be able to make this race, which that's another thing. I didn't even know there were races that lasted 24 hours.
Oh yeah, neither did I.
That's another interesting aspect that I learned from this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, it made me really made me invested in the movie,
Yeah.
the racing scenes.
Yeah, and I think the investment, which is probably kind of what you're saying, is that like since you are following them and you're pretty much you see the entire process. Well, basically the summarized process of this car being made
Right.
and what they have to go through. Like it really does invest you in this race and makes you really want them to win, Ford to win, you know, and it really invests you in that. And so that all that was really well done to make someone who really I don't care about racing. I don't like racing. I don't like NASCAR like at all. You know, if you do, fine. I just don't like it at all.
Right.
But to watch this movie and actually be completely interested in it, and just the way the cinematography works, really makes you zoom into one character and really makes you feel what they're feeling at the time. Well, guys, overall, this movie was surprisingly really. I'm not gonna say surprisingly really good. I was expecting it to be good.
Yeah,
I
same.
I was surprised at how much I liked it, how much I loved it, and how enjoyed I was, how invested I was in the film. I was really surprised about that, you know. But I wasn't necessarily surprised at how good it was. Everything was done really tip top. The acting was fantastic. The cinematography was really good. All the relationships were really well done. And there was really no flaws other than maybe just a few tiny nitpicks.
Yeah, this movie, like Marquez said, it was a very surprisingly enjoyable movie for me. I think this movie can honestly please both sides of the fans who or people who like racing, and people who aren't necessarily into racing like me, because I definitely don't like racing and I was able to enjoy it, and I can still see people who love racing can still love this movie because it still had a lot of racing aspects to it.
We are gonna say that Ford v Ferrari is 90% awesome. Well, guys, you know, man, this year has been kind of insane.
Especially here recently.
Yeah, it seems like here recently it's been just good movie after good movie after good movie after good movie, just
Yeah.
one after the other.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember the last time we gave a movie less than 90%.
Yeah, honestly, like it's
especially if you include The Shining, because
Yeah.
we reviewed that recently
yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean, maybe the last thing was like El Camino, but like I
Even
can't.
that was 85.
Yeah, and like I can't really remember the last time we gave like a bad grade to a movie, or even like a mem grade to a movie.
Right.
Like every movie has been like good movie, good movie, good movie, good movie. So I'm honestly really happy about this year. Last year was like crammed full of like bad to mem movies. And I mean, it had its fair share of good movies, just like this year has its share of bad movies. But overall, I feel like this is a way better year for movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, comment and let us know what you thought about Ford v Ferrari.
And don't forget to follow us on social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all at 2 Awesome Men.
I said Ford v Ferrari, really weird there. Ford v Ferrari. Let us know. Let us know what you thought about that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see us later.